Well, hello there, boys and girls, men, women, children of all ages. This is Kenny at MTH, Lionel for Less, and I'm doing something that I never thought I'd have to do. I'm having to mail the crossover back to Steve at Ross to get a replacement one. I mean, this one works okay, but, you know, the last one I had that I bought used worked better than this one. I don't know if the guy just had the kinks worked out of it or what, but I never buy anything new, and the Ross track and this switch is the first items I've ever bought new. Because, you know, I can't really afford to be in this hobby, but I can't stay away from it either, so I've tried. I just always go and start buying the stuff back, and there's no sense. But you see here, this rail's higher than that one, so if you're coming this way, you know, it knocks the front truck and derails you. As you can see over here, this one's if I can find it. I had to work all night again, and see, that one there is nice and tight, and that's what it has to be. You know, he did put the diamond on there for me. And I asked him yesterday about, I've seen some with like silver things over this, that like covers or something that conducted electric. But, you know, the glue job's just messy, and some of the ties were broke when I got it, and you see how all that shit on there. I mean, do I really have to go and clean that from something that I just bought? You know, I've cleaned a little bit of it off, but then I stopped and said, you know, hey man, just call dude and he'll probably give you another one. And see all that shit that's on there? I don't know if that came from the soldering job he did, or one of his employees did it. I don't know. But I'm just not happy with it. There was areas of rust over here on this rail, and now you see already the paint loss from the black oxide. And we also have it here. And on this railroad bed. I mean, that's how it came to me, with all that shit on there. And yeah, my old one wasn't like that, and you see how this rail's, can you see how it's off? If you look down the track, you can see that, you know, this is leaning this way. So when you're coming from this direction, that fucks you up. So, you know, that needs to be over there, meeting this rail. Now that one's good, but it's a little high on the one side. I mean, this shit has to be perfect for it all to work right. And, you know, maybe it was the holidays or something, and you know, one just got out the door that wasn't the usual superb work and craftsmanship. To me, this is the masterpiece of all O-gauge switches. That's the only reason I would spend money and buy something new. All this soldering he did to make everything hot. You know, it cost an extra $20, but, you know, I can't do the job like that and know exactly which rails to make hot and all that and join together. I certainly didn't have anything like these metal pieces that are making the jumps. And you see down here on these rails, he's got them soldered together at the hot point. But, you know, look at that tie's cracking. There was no screw putting that. That one's cracking. I believe, I know there's an, oh yeah, this one. That came to me like that too. Which, you know, it's so unlike anytime I've dealt with the Ross custom switches. And, you know, like I said, Steve's been great about it. I told him, no, let's just do this after the holiday. I says, I'll try to run it and see if I can get happy with it. But I'm just still not. And he said, you know, even though I drilled a couple holes in it, it's no problem. Because first he told me, well, you can return it if there's no holes in it. I said, Steve, of course I drilled a couple holes in it so to hold it down so it'll work right. I said, you know, what's replacing a couple ties, man? You know, come on. And then he agreed. I mean, he probably has 500,000 of these ties. But look at that fucking thing. It's still a work of art. But this one just has some issues. You know, and he's gonna test the other one before he ships it out. And maybe, you know, I think it might have been done on a Friday. So maybe the people were wanting to get out of there. And while they were doing the soldering and that, they got all the stuff all over it. You know, but, you know, if I got to go through there with a Q-tip, is like what I did over here on this rail, and clean all that stuff up, you know, I want a refund of a little bit. And something's new. I mean, if it don't look and work right when it's new, it never will. It's like the old guy told me, you know, if you don't look good between 18 and 21, he said, you never will. And, you know, he was completely right about that. So, I just thought I'd share that with you this morning. It is with great grief and, you know, really still not wanting to send it back because I respect Steve so much. But, you know, he agreed mistakes can happen. And the main thing is he's making the customer happy still. So, and, Dilly dilly. I am moving out of here at the end of the month. My lease is up, and I've been waiting for this. I was uncertain until yesterday if they were going to make me stay an extra 2 months because I didn't give a written notice. But I had a talk with the manager yesterday, and I said, that's kind of bullshit, man. When I told you in December when I paid rent that I was moving, you didn't ask me for a written notice that day. I says, now it's January 1st and you want a written notice. I says, no. I said, I'm not playing that game. I'm not paying rent in 2 places. I ain't a pimp like that. So I was up a long time yesterday after work. Just conducting business like that and doing other things to try to get some extra money and stuff. But the crossover will come back. Not this particular one, but another one. And it will be thoroughly tested. And I have 100% confidence that the next one will be the keeper. Because the one I had used worked better than this one. And it looked better also. So I don't know if that guy never used it or what. It had 2 holes in it, and that was it. Getting ready to put the wheels on the intermodal cars. Gonna throw the Santa Fe or Texas Special together before I get out of here. This layout will come down so fast because of the way I made it with those tables underneath. It's supported up on tables. And I did that, and then I put, some 2x4s underneath to prop it up. But, there's 3 tables here. There could have been 4. And, that's the beauty of it. This was my wife's idea. Instead of building a bunch of bench work and that, when we're not in our own purchased home yet, because I already had to knock down one of them, and you almost cry while you do it, because like all the work you put into it and money. But every one you build is a learning experience. You will learn more than something. You will learn quite a few somethings every time you make a layout. So the next one will be my 4th. And looks like when I do get my place within a year here, that the 5th will be the piece de la resistance, or however them French people say that shit. Yeah, to me this fucking switch is art. I mean, I can just sit there and watch the trains, cross the track. Like regular Line L diesels and MTH diesels, they want through it all day. But you get Mr. FEF here, and he will go through once, and then the next time, he gets stuck on these tracks that lead up to the diamond. It's not that it loses power, but the front truck gets hung up over here and over here sometimes. It depends what direction you're coming from. So I told Steve that on the next one, if he would just file these down on an angle for me and give the truck a chance to lift up on it, make it kind of like a ramp. Because I've seen some ones that had the silver over them, And I don't know if they were covers that's the buyer put on it. But, that also made this transition a lot smoother. And like Steve says, there is no agreement between the train makers about, like the wheel flanges size, or he could make a ultra perfect one. But like what'll run through on MTH may not run through on line L. So you'll have to adjust it or something. And if you don't know how to do it, he says you can send it to him with the engine and he'll try it. And he said he'll get it going through. So it is with a heavy heart that I send this back. I almost feel like it's not going to return, but that's not the case. Certainly does help to have a good job. I'm so blessed by God with that job I got now. Ladies and gents, if you have not just considered making Jesus Christ your personal Lord and Savior, and if you're tired of handling all the stress and problems, and you want to just give him the wheel and let him drive, all I could say is I tried it and I'm a much happier guy since I did it. I see more fruits of my labor, and I also see progress towards the house going on, and I also just don't have to stress out about everything all the time because I don't worry about it. I know I have to go out and make money, and that shuts up 80% of things. But not all of them. How do you feel inside about yourself? And the great thing is, he's a forgiving God, and even if you've sinned like I had in the past, he will forgive you if you're honest about, stopping what you were doing to sin. Yeah, I just think so. Everybody's got their free will, and I don't want to sit here and preach to you guys, but it's just such great news that you don't have to worry about stress anymore, because God will take care of it for you. When things kind of just happen in life and you're like, wow, how did that happen? That's God. Okay, this is Ken from Lionel for Less. I will see you guys more. I will show more shit as I'm breaking down the layout. I have one more loop here to screw down because the track will be left screwed down when I move, so it doesn't go into a box and get all jumbled up and messed, effed up again. Different pieces, different diameters. And who knows what it'll look like in a new place. But I acquired a few more things. I've got a passenger station coming and a MTH J1E Hudson. I've always wanted one of those. I was able to get the right deal on it. I did sell this Scale GG1 to a friend of mine, so to help me pay for the Hudson. Because if I could trade that GG1 for the Hudson, I'd certainly do it. Because, you know, I just don't run it much. It came on a deal with these black passenger cars. And it was just too good to pass up, so. But look, man, that FEF will pull all that. And it's still laughing. You know, this damn engine could pull, I think, maybe 150 cars. It's strong, man. It's really strong. It's those big drivers on it, man. You know, you're getting some grip on the rail there, man. And like I said, it's a heavy beast, and I know guys like Tom Z, I've seen, you know, they put weights inside of even MTH engines to make them stronger. Okay, guys, see you later. Battery's dead.